Good evening, everybody. Welcome. This is Out of the Fog. I'm your boy DC, and this show is going right across the province and beyond, hanging out with all the cool people, making all the cool things happen. And tonight is no exception. Tonight on the couch, we have Brian Henley from the Alec G. Henley Group, a historic company that supports our community so much. And they're also coming on to talk about community support and family enterprises and everything else that you want to know. And so after the break, then we have Newfound Sand, Dave, Amanda, and Deanna coming through talking about an innovation that is so amazing. I can't even believe it, and you're going to want to know all about how soon and now glass can be recycled and turned into sand on the beach, baby. It is a new day. This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back with our friends after this break. Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and am I ever excited to kick off the debut episode of our 2025 programming for Out of the Fog with the one and only Brian Henley. How are you doing, sir?
Great, thank you very much.
Well, so glad you made time for me out of your busy schedule.
Well, how could I say no to you?
Well, say no more. So I want to start off, there's a brand in our city that has been around for a long time doing great work. And I'm going to ask you a question. Who is Alec G. Henley?
Alec G. Henley was the founder of our firm, and he founded it nearly over 80 years ago.
That's right.
He was a person who was very active in so many different facets of our community, both in citywide, provincial-wide, and nationwide. Basically, you name any aspect, whether it was sports, whether it was community, whether it was church, whether it was politics, whether it was business, he was in the middle of it all. And so our firm has been in existence since June of 1944. And I joined the firm a while ago, not there that long. And we've got a very good team, and we've been very blessed with very good clients to be able to do what we do.
Well, thank you so much. Sounds like this man cared a lot about community and a lot about the local businesses that make it happen.
Yeah, he did. He was involved in many things. He chaired the first Briar ever come to Newfoundland. He was vice chair of the Canada Summer Games in '77. He was chair of the Papal Visit in '84. He served in school board, chairs of school boards, municipal affairs, city councils, politics. He was one of the, when he passed away, he was the last surviving member of the organization of the Progressive Conservative Party in 1948. So being against Joseph R. Smallwood for 23 years was and being successful in business was quite a statement.
And a few shells on the pond as well, may I say.
Yes. Many families around here have been very loyal to the Royal St. John's Regatta, ours being one. And my father went on the regatta committee in 1944. He rowed and coxed prior to that. And then I joined the committee in 1983. And he was on the committee till the day he died. I'm still an honorary life member of the committee. I'm a past president of the Regatta Committee.
Nice.
We have two shells currently on the pond, the Henley and the Catherine M. The Henley is after the Henley name, and Catherine M. is after my mother.
Amazing. You bring up families. Quite a theme, I feel, when you're skating through the Alec G. Henley communications material. Family enterprises matter. And I think if anyone's watching this show, you'd say, well, what does that mean? Well, it means a lot. And I wonder what you think about that statement.
Well, it's a big statement from our perspective. I'm a certified family enterprise advisor, one of the very few in the province. And family enterprises constitute about 52% of the private GDP in Canada. There's over 860,000 plus family enterprises in Canada. They employ over 6 million people. They contribute over $2 billion a year to philanthropy. So, let's just take our city of St. John's here today. And our offices are downtown on Duckworth Street. So if I'm on my way home, I'm probably going to Halliday's to pick something up. That's a 114-year-old business. I may then go to Bellman's and pick something up, which is now owned by the Colemans, but used to be owned by Bellman's. My dry cleaner is Deluxe Dry Cleaners. We're here on Kenmount Road. Look at all the car dealerships here on Kenmount Road. Most of them are family businesses. So family enterprises is very, very vital to our economy and to our society, because they're the ones who come up to sponsor the various events, and they put their money where their mouth is. But family enterprise is managed differently than you and I being in business and no relationship, because we have the family dynamics that go with it. So, there's an old saying, it takes 2 generations to make it and 1 generation to lose it. And so one of the issues, particularly for subsequent generations, is trying to keep up with grandma or grandpa or mom or dad, the patriarch-matriarch theory. And am I going to be able to fill the boots? And so when you're advising families, which we do a lot of work with, of all shapes and sizes, you have to take that into account. But, and families have much longer views of the world in their business plans than the publicly traded company who's looking at it quarter by quarter or year by year. So it's quite a difference.
It is. It's amazing. I think a lot of folks out there are well reminded of the fact of what family enterprises are able to do to support the community. And what are the types of things that you and your team will be doing with them?
Well, with family enterprises, normally what you have is different family members have different views of the world, but what you'll find is somewhere in the entire unit of that family, there's a core set of values. And they normally want to adhere to those core set of values. And so they may all go and branch off and do other things separately as individual people, but the core set of values, and that's the foundation of how you see successful family enterprises. And it takes work. And the other thing too is family enterprises, in my capacity as an advisor for family enterprises, and I'm also a member of a family enterprise, you work for the whole family. You don't work for the patriarch or the matriarch. You work for the whole family. So it is a different perspective. And the grandchild or the son or the daughter or the mom or the dad or the granddad or the grandmother all have a say. And it doesn't mean that there's somebody at the end of the day who makes a final decision. But it's quite different than dealing with 3 or 4 people who are non-related in business together.
It sounds like it. And so, I mean, geez, over 80 years of doing this type of work. But wait, there's another key pillar of service that you guys do as well, which is employee benefits consulting. And as a business owner myself, the whole conversation around how you make that work is interesting. You said something to me in a conversation a while back, and I'd love to dig into it. When you ask what kind of employer do you want to be, that sends me off in a bunch of directions. What does that question mean to you? Well,
when we're giving advice to enterprises, I ask the question, and very few people have ever been asked that question. And the reason we ask that question is because it does make a difference as to what you think, how you think, what you think about your business, what you think about your employees, who do you want to compare yourselves to, what do you have to do to be a good employer. And it forces you to sit back and not just make instant decisions, it forces you to think it through a bit.
It's pretty amazing. It's been living rent-free in the front of my brain for weeks now.
Well, I had a meeting yesterday with a client and who I've asked that question to before, but we were into a particular topic, and the CFO goes, well, what type of employer do you think we are? But that triggered, which is good.
Right.
And so it does get people to think a little differently.
Yeah, I think any of the viewers out here tonight, if you're ever wondering, owning a business, managing a business, what kind of employer do I want to be, then you are asking yourself the right question to put that in front of the man himself. For in our final moment, Brian, so I'm going to ask you a question here now. Looking into the crystal ball of the year ahead and knowing that getting all of the subject matter expertise and thought leadership that you have to offer, you and the team, in the land of social media, I hear you have LinkedIn and Facebook with a bunch of tips coming at us. Tell us more.
Well, yes, we are advancing our social media, and we're very pleased so far, but we're coming out now bi-monthly. One topic on the financial advisory side and another topic on the employee benefit consulting side. to sort of thought-provoking for people, for themselves, for employers, and for employees and their family members to think about.
Well, I love it. That sounds great to me. So guys, I want you to be checking out the social media channels. You're going to be seeing a lot more from Alec G. Henley Group, the key services that they offer. And I'll leave you with two questions. Number one is, what kind of employer do you want to be? And the other is more of a statement, and that is, family enterprises matter. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Brian. Will you come back and see us again?
Gladly. Thank you very much, DC.
Thank you so much. Guys, this is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after this break.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and it's all stars only on the couch here tonight. And I have three guns in my midst, and I'm so excited to talk to you all about something really exciting. But I'm not going to take all the thunder. I'm going to hand it over to my friends here. We got Deanna, Amanda, and Dave, and I am blown away by the swag. If you're seeing what's going on the table, you're about to find out exactly what this is. Dave, tell us everything.
So, what have you done with your pickle jar, like your mustard pickle jar, when you are finished with it? What do you do with it?
I mean, I might rinse it out, try to do something with it to keep from throwing it away, but eventually I end up having to throw it away.
Right, like everybody else, right? And I mean,
right.
Mustard pickles are like a staple for me, especially. Like, you have turkey, you gotta have mustard pickles.
Oh, say no more.
So, what we're saying is that we can actually recycle that in Newfoundland.
That to me sounds like a big lie.
No, sir.
You are a liar.
That is glass sand right in front of you.
Can't believe
That is pickle jars.
this.
No mustard pickles in it now, obviously. But no, you remove the pickles, you bring it to us, we put it in our piece of equipment, and we'll turn it back into the sand that it was.
Now that is a tall order of conversation, let me tell you, because I'm sure a lot of the viewers out there at home are saying to yourselves, sure, I thought it was impossible to turn glass back to sand. Not the case.
No, it's as simple as you drop it into the machine. When we did our first collection event at the St. John's Farmers Market, Amanda actually brought her son, and he was feeding in the glass in the machine, just like that.
Amanda,
Easy as that.
how did you first hear tell of this amazing innovation that we're talking about here today?
I mean, the fact that there was no glass recycling in Newfoundland was always something weird to me. I moved here from Ontario 14 years ago, so we had curbside glass recycling. So Dave actually called me and he said, I'm working on this project where we want to be able to take glass and recycle it in Newfoundland. And I was like, tell me more, I'm all in. Like, that's it, I'm good.
That's so cool.
I want to help.
Well, I'm so glad. And Deanna, I mean, listen, you are someone wearing many gorgeous hats, living life. What brought you into this?
Well, I've always been a big fan of recycling, keeping our province clean. Even as a teacher, the word recycle, reduce, and reuse were things that started off in the classroom in our curriculum. And this is just another level of up-leveling and keeping our province clean. And glass is such a great way to tap into so many resources through taking it and making it into sand.
So great, guys. I mean, dream team energy happening here. So listen, Dave, I'll ask you, what gifts has this journey of entrepreneurialism, giving back, community support, problem solving, what are the gifts that you've received so far in this journey?
Oh man, that's a really good question. Honestly, I think it's the level of camaraderie and like the commitment from the members of the board. This started out as a simple idea in a garage in Clark's Beach, to the point that like my good buddy was basically just annoyed with me talking to him about it. And then we put out a call for board members, and like everybody jumped. Everybody jumped. And the reason why you even saw it is Amanda and Deanna right here. Because they can take our story and they can sell it better than anybody I've ever come across. So like one of the most amazing things for me is just the level of passion and drive to try and solve a problem that hasn't been solved before in this province.
It's wild.
Yeah.
And why not before now? Did you have a secret line to the equipment that could actually turn the trick? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we've been talking about this as long as I've been on the go, and now you're about to solve a problem that we've been dealing with as Newfoundlanders, especially eco-conscious, community-based folks, which are many of us. It blows my mind that no one had solved this before. And I'm just so blown away that this thing is actually something that can be solved. Like, we're living in unprecedented times right now. Am I right? I mean, what do you think about the support you're getting?
It's phenomenal. We set this up as a cooperative so that the community could really solve the problem together. And that's really what we're seeing. We're seeing the community basically come together and say, hey, we want this to be solved like it's done everywhere else in Canada.
Yeah.
Europe has been doing this for decades. They've been doing it better than even people in North America.
Yeah.
But Newfoundland is the only province right now that actually doesn't have household glass recycling at the curb.
You know? Good segue. Amanda, a marketing communications maven, working in real estate. A lot of your values are combining under this umbrella. And Deanna, likewise, such a change maker and someone who puts your hand to things and makes things happen and helping Dave out so much as he's saying himself. My question to you both, and you can pick who wants to jump in. What do you see in terms of exciting opportunities or contexts for what we're doing here now, thanks to your efforts of turning glass into sand? What are the visions? And I'm sure there are many, and I'll hand it over to you both.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think like my favorite thing to get out of this is the excitement I see out of people like my son, who's like, oh my gosh, like I was a kid and I recycled glass in Newfoundland, and he just talks about it constantly now. And I think that if we can excite that in a younger generation, it's going to create even more change as we move forward, and just showing that, you know, it doesn't take like a team of heroes. We're average people, and we're able to make this happen. So if there's something you want to see happen and something you want to see changed, just do it. Start.
Yes, I live that, and I'm so excited that you said that, because we, the viewers, us ourselves, sometimes we are in our own way. We don't realize what's possible, and it's literally taking the first step to do something. Deanna, what do you think?
Well, absolutely. To stack on that, the youth are so creative, and taking the glass, and Newfoundland is so artsy that there's so many things we could do with sand artistically for our property, for our landscape, right, Dave? And there's just so many uses for sand, like it's a foundation for so many things. So it would really fit in with how creative the Newfoundlanders are. So there's a lot of artistic things we can do with it externally, as well as in a classroom. That's the teacher in me as well. There's just so much we can do with sand. We can pour into it so much.
So, you know, we're looking at these vessels here, the glass filled with the glass. That's not glass anymore. It's the sand that you'd walk on the beach. I mean, guys, I look forward to you guys all checking out the website and the social media and really getting into understanding what is happening at this time in history, which is that we are innovating a solution to such an age-old problem. And the contexts that, you know, the team has told me about that are available via the product of turning this glass back to sand are pretty endless, right into conservation efforts and all sorts of things that they can be applied to. The sky's the limit, am I right?
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Some of the most exciting research that I've seen from this is they actually put it in with fertilizer, and it promotes food growth in soil. It is absolutely incredible, the innovation that's happening. Researchers in Singapore have used 3D printing to make concrete benches using 100% recycled glass. Once we start producing this, the sky is the limit for us, like what you said. And the innovation potential in Newfoundland, Labrador alone, and this is even with ignoring the arts community, because you get no better. But the level of innovation that's happening at the Innovation Center or at the Genesis Center, once we start going with this product to them, we think they're going to take it, and they're even going to blow our minds.
And I can only assume the decision makers and the powers that be are understanding the value that you're bringing to the province and that you're receiving all of their support and cooperation.
We have several municipalities that are very, very, very interested.
Okay.
The city of Mount Pearl has been very supportive. The city of Clark's Beach has been very, or town of Clark's Beach, sorry.
We do love them.
Yeah, very much so. And the city of St. John's has also been supportive of
Great news.
We've had great conversations with the Department of Environment and the MMSB.
Love it.
So right now what we're focusing on is the next 12 months.
Okay.
So we'll be building our membership base
Right.
and then building up capacity. So once we get that capacity, we really are really excited about where those conversations will take us.
Well, guys, I'm very thankful you came on the show today, and I hope you'll be coming back to give me updates about the amazingness as it evolves forward. Are you going to come back and hang out with me again?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Anytime.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Until then, guys, I'll tell you to the camera, Newfound sand. You want to get on the channels, you want to figure it out, and you want to support, become a member, donate, follow, talk about it with a friend, and let everybody know the days of us throwing out garbage bags full of glass are going to be coming to an end, and we are going to have such a renewable byproduct to put into so many of the uses that we have across the province. And I thank you and you and you so much for working so hard with all the other folks in your orbit who have allowed this dream to start coming true. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, stay tuned. Newfound Sand. This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and I just want to take a moment to share my love of Newfoundland music. This is a beautiful video and an amazing song by the incredible duo, The Fortunate Ones. Check it out.
We spent that winter in a fever dream. From peaks into valleys like we'd never seen. Kept some things close and let others go free. That was you and me. We spent that spring doing quiet things. Planted a garden and polished our rings. Slowed ourselves down and we learned how to be. That was you and me. When I think about it, I was wrong to have doubted. That ain't no good thing ever fades. Then just change under new light to a different shade. And I think back to something that I heard you say. That's like you and me. We spent that summer in a reverie. In an old clapboard house on the hill by the sea. taking stock of the scene, surveying the wreckage, making sense of those dreams. Saw the light of the head, watched the shadow recede. That was you and me. When I think about it, I was wrong to have doubted that ain't no good thing ever fades. They just change under new light to a different shade. And I think back to something that I heard you say. That's like you and me. That's like you and me. That's like you and me.
Well, what can I tell you? Another night hanging out here at the Out of the Fog studio here in St. John's. Amazing guest on the couch, Brian. Thank you so much for coming on and talking about why family businesses matter and what kind of employer that we want to be for all those biz heads. And in the crowd, we're talking about Newfound sand. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Deanna. What you are doing as a co-op in our province is moving us forward in an exciting way. And thank you so much to all of the people who are helping to make this show amazing, the volunteers and the staff. This is Out of the Fog, Rogers TV, and we'll see you next time.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
We want to hear from you. Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Call, email us, or scan the QR code to take our quick survey.
Missing your favorite channels? Get them on Rogers Xfinity TV. Now in free preview with Rogers Xfinity TV.
Frank! No, Frank, don't carry it. Dribble it. Dribble it. Frank, dribble it. Frank, shoot.
Is this some kind of Canadian joke, sir? I mean, I know you're the instructor and everything, but we can't carry the ball. How can we get a decent shot at the peach basket?
All right. Maybe we can allow a carry of a couple of steps.
And Mr. Naismith, sir, it sure slows things down having to climb up here every time.
Well, then let's cut the bottom out of the basket.
Yeah, but I need these baskets back.
100 years after James Naismith from Almont, Ontario invented it, basketball was being played by hundreds of millions of people around the world.
After a night out with your friends, not having a plan for a safe ride home can leave you in a bad spot. You could end up riding in a police car